So.
What was your thoughts in between the two test matches? Like people like coming for the Aussies because they played so bad in Perth, and then they're like, mate, you've got to need to make changes. Everyone needs to go.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And then they come out and win, and everyone's like, oh, I told you that. You stick with them and all that. What was your thought on the whole thing? I've got my opinion.
My worry was that we just looked like we lacked so much energy. It's like we were on the against Perth. Sorry, when we were in Perth. It looked like we were wrapping up a summer, and it's like this is the first test.
Yeah, you got to get going.
Let's rip their heads off. Yeah. What are you doing? And it just felt like we were really flat. And we bowled them out for 150. Tails were up, and then we only made 100. So it's like any confidence got zapped out of the bowlers. So that worried me a bit. I was a little nervous. I met up with Flem last week. We were chatting about it. It's like that was pretty bad. Like, that was a bloodbath in Perth. You can't really dodge that. But what were your views?
Oh, everyone's like, they jumped on, like the Australian public jumped on them. They said, Labuschagn's out of form. He's doing too much. He's overthinking it. Smith's out of form. He's getting old. He's done. McSweeney, was he right call?
Yeah.
Bring him in. All of the above. And I'm like, it's spot on. Like, there's I don't think people understand. It's like AFL footy teams. They want to win every week, and they want to win the premiership every year. So when you lose, they don't accept it.
Yeah.
Like the Australian public doesn't accept losing, which I rate. And it's like,
it's good.
They're back on them now because they won, but it's like that wasn't acceptable, that first test. So you can jump on, put a bit of pressure on them, and then what a good Aussie cricketers do, they respond.
Yeah.
And most of those guys did respond in the next test, and hopefully get a bit of confidence out of that, and then build up to Brisbane. And I don't know, are they looking forward to Boxing Day and all that sort of thing, or are they looking forward to just playing and getting out there and making runs? But I was like, jump on.
Yeah, definitely.
Be critical of something that's not right.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Because then, you know what, if they don't respond under pressure, then, you know what, more pressure builds.
More
and
questions,
then you do make a change.
Well, one of the blokes you mentioned, Labuschagne, he again was really, really good that night with McSweeney. Khawaja was out pretty cheaply. Labuschagne came in under a lot of pressure. He made a gritty 60, I think it was. And there were signs that he looked like he was getting back. I saw David Warner come out this week publicly say that probably isn't. Everyone's sort of jumping on saying, yeah, he's back. It's like he's not quite back. He still looks quite scratchy. Yeah. But there was one piece of commentary that Ricky Ponting said when he played an on drive, which is a really difficult shot to play. And he goes, if you're playing on drives, a really good sign. Like you're obviously seeing him pretty well. So signs that he's back, I hope. I'd like to see a big score in Brisbane, easier said than done. But positive signs. But a massive worry for me and everyone is Steve Smith, who again failed pretty poorly, get caught down the leg side there. Like he just found a way to get out. But he looks in trouble.
It's a moment that he will celebrate and celebrate very proudly. It was 26 innings since Steve Smith was celebrating like this. He's had to work very, very hard for it. When you're a champion player like Steve Smith, sometimes you just notch up the hundreds. And there are days like today when you've got to work really hard and make every moment count.
It's the same thing. It's overthinking and scratchy, and like I can't remember what test it was. He bought himself probably another test series by making it 60, but it was like a real scratchy, average 60, and he didn't look comfortable, and everything was like the timing was out. It was getting through. He was getting beaten. It is a little bit of a worry, but they're talking about Curtis Patterson now because he's made so many runs in the last 6 innings. He's just dominated. He's the lowest scores of like 40 or something, and then he came out and made 160 odd not out. So it's like, do you make these changes? Like, do you make these changes through a series, or do you give them the series to get out of it? But for me, I'm like, you just got to see. Like this test, if he fails twice, then you're like,
did Patterson turn up for Australia? He played for Australia against Sri Lanka years ago, and I reckon he made a century.
I don't know.
I might double check that, but I think he might have.
That'd be a good one to.
Like I'm here to double check. During the 2018-19 season, Patterson was actually selected to play for the Cricket Australia 11 side against touring Sri Lankans as a warm-up for the series. He scored a 157 not out and a 102 not out in the second innings. He was named player of the match. He did not score heavily for the actual Australian team against Sri Lanka. I think he made 30 off 82 balls, but good memories, Scoon.
Look up, but even, it is tough. And India they started like a house on fire, and then they sort of dropped the ball. And I think that the young opener, Jaswal,
Yeah.
special.
Gun.
And
Scary
got
player.
got a ripper
Yeah.
off start.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you're just like, whatever.
Yeah, thank goodness. Though. Scary player. He's.
I can't remember who it was. It might have been Shane Watson.
Class.
Called it. He said, this guy's a gun. Watch him this series. He's a superstar.
Yeah.
On one of the shows. And it's like, when you saw that, and he was just like, he's so comfortable.
What
at
about
that age.
what
so
about
comfortable.
Richard Pant coming in late Saturday night? I don't know what the shot's called. Maybe a reverse hook shot. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Just jumped in the air. Tried to. So what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
And that was when like the game was like slipping away, but it's like you were a chance to.
Test match cricket shots. They've sort of opened it up a little bit.
Here goes, cheers.
This is 2020. Yeah.
Where are you off to?
Just figure it out as we go along. But yeah, like Bumrah's a class above.
Amazing
And
player.
it's like no matter what. And I just like it. I was looking and I had the double take the other day. Comes off a short run up. Weird action. All of
Yeah.
above. He's bowling 126, 127.
Yeah, and the rest. He's
28
quick in that. Yeah.
So he's like,
He's close to 140. He's rapid.
no, he was bowling like 128s and all that. They weren't like over the top,
Really?
but he moved it so much.
Yeah, he gets a lot of.
And it's
Yeah, alrighty, Heath.
like, it doesn't matter how quick it's coming. If it's like moving in and then seaming off, like you
Yeah.
can't, especially with at night. And even I reckon the bit of humidity up in Brisbane, if it's hot and stinky
Which it
up
will be.
there,
Yep.
which it will be. But if they get a bit of rain just before, then you'd nearly be bowling first and let him have the pill and then put all the pressure on, exactly what Australia did, get one early, pile the pressure on. Everyone gets a bit nervous. Labuschagne, Smith, all that come in early. They're a bit nervous as well. So
What are you prepared to lose today? Set a deposit limit. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.